morning students. Today we discuss about 12th commerce, that is new chapter, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So in this chapter we discuss about the meaning, definition of negotiable instrument and also difference between negotiability and assignability. So in this video first we discuss about the meaning, characteristics and presumptions of negotiable instruments. So according to section 13 of the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, a negotiable instrument means it is a promissory note or bill of exchange or check payable either to order or to the bearer. So negotiable instrument means any instrument, any legal document, whether it may be promissory note or bill of exchange or check, it can be transferred from one person to another person by mere endorsement or by mere delivery. Characteristics of negotiable instrument: it should be a transferability one. So a negotiable instrument is transferable from one person to another person without any formality, that is fixing the stamp, registration, everything. So it is mere endorsement and delivery by one person to another person. Title of the holder free from all defects. The person taking the instrument in good faith and for value is known as holder in due course. So when the instrument is held by holder in due course in the process of negotiation, it is cured of all defects in the instrument with respect to the ownership. The next one is right of transfer, transfer it to issue. Though a bill or a promissory note or a check represent a debt, the transferee is entitled to issue on the instrument in his own name in case of dishonor. So if any bill of exchange or check or promise note are to be dishonor means, so the transferee will have a right to make a issue not to claim the amount of the bill, so without giving notice to the debtor that he has become its holder. There are some presumptions in the case of negotiable instruments, that is some of the important points in the case of negotiable instruments. So every negotiable instrument is presumed to have been drawn, accepted, etc. for consideration. So it is most important for negotiable instruments to be drawn and accepted. So a negotiable instrument is presumed to have been accepted. One, if the bill is drawn to another person means that person should accept the bill. So every negotiable instrument hearing a date is presumed to have been made or drawn on such a date. So every negotiable instrument, it is very important for the mentioning the date. In the date which mentioned in the bill means that date will be accepted. It is presumed to have been accepted within a reasonable time after the date and before its maturity. The transfer of negotiable instrument is presumed to have been made before maturity. So before the maturity period, the negotiable instrument should be transferred from one person to another person with the date mentioned in the instrument. So the endorsement appearing upon the negotiable instrument are presumed to have been made in order to which they appear thereon. So when a negotiable instrument has been lost, it is presumed to have been duly stamped. The holder of the negotiable instrument is presumed to be holder in the due course. Next one, negotiability and assignability. In the case of negotiability, it refers to the transferability all the rights and title of on an instrument, delivery or by endorsement or and delivery. So vesting with the bona fide transferee for value, even better title that what the transferor had. So merely in short, transferability of negotiable instrument is called negotiability. But in the case of assignability refers to the transferability of personal properties and rights from one person to another person as a gift or sale or as security. So the transferee gets the same as much title as the transferor has. Generally, transferability of ownership of any goods other than the negotiability instrument is called assignability. So there are some difference between negotiability and assignability. Legal ownership point of view, negotiability, it passes to the transferee by mere endorsement. In the case of a bearer instrument, and by endorsement and delivery in the case of an order instruments. But in the case of assignability, an assignability can be made by observing certain formalities. That is, an instrument is to be made in writing, duly stamped and signed by the transferor or his agent. Notice point of view, notice is not necessary for the holder of negotiable instrument to claim the payment from the debtor, because of the date of maturity and the date of drawn will be mentioned in the negotiable instrument. So before the maturity date, the amount will be collected, the amount will be paid to the respective person. So notice will not be sent to the respective person for collecting the payment. In case of actionable claim, notice of the assignment by the transferee regarding the transfer of debt to the holder or debtor is necessary. So in the case of assignability, for collecting the debt, it is necessary to send a notice to the concerned person. Nature of title, holder of negotiable instrument in due course gets a better title than even the transferor. That means that the transferee gets the instrument free from any defect existing in the title of the transferor or any prior party. But in the case of assignability, the transferee's title to the instrument is subject to the defect of the transferor's title. In other words, defects in the title of transferor pass on to the transferee too. Consideration point of view, in the case of negotiable instrument, consideration is presumed. That is an important one. In the case of assignability, the assignee has to prove the consideration for the transfer. So these are some of the important points related to the difference between the negotiable instrument and assignability. So with that we conclude this video. Students, you can go through all the points which are taught in this video and you can write it in your classwork notebook and send a task complete message in the group between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Don't forget to send the report to the concerned group. Thank you.